have the capacity to do something about it, like jump down off the bridge onto them, or to
I do
do
have this
something.
jump skill I
Well,
was eyeing.
right. You're thinking about it, right? Maybe 13 can see you thinking about it, and so
And I might ask, 13, do you know how
what
to
if that?
swim?
Right.
Oh, okay.
But also, um, but also now you don't even need an alertness check. The top of that pyramid, a enormous green glowing bolt of light emerges from the top of the pyramid and shoots up into the sky, spattering green light in random patterns around its base. And the cry of distress from the boat is quite clear as the one or the other of them, you can't tell which one from your vertical vantage, apparently finds reason not to want the relic and hurls it in a spattering green light little meteor away from the boat, where it sizzles off onto the shore. As the two of them continue in their boat. So you basically have a choice. What are you going to go after?
The one thing I'm probably going to do is get off her
Right.
just in case.
Well, you see, you are thinking about it, aren't you? Woo!
And I might, skid up to the very edge of the bridge, and kind of look down, and then, I'm thinking, if Ogox is gonna kill me if I jump into that boat and leave the relic, and so I'll kind of, come to a skittering stop, and then start heading toward the shore where the relic is.
Right. Well, to do that, of course, you're up on the bridge. You're going to have to get off, go into the brush, and go down there and hunt for it. But boy, intuition is proving to be sort of one of these annoying but convenient things. Go ahead and make an intuition check for the Oxa now, not for 13. I'm actually picking and choosing who does it.
Yeah.
Not alternating, but because of what you know and what each of you knows. So
perfect.
Right.
Oh, no. Pathetic.
Oh no. Okay. Well, yes, of course, Ogox will be more than overjoyed to see you, and all will be well. No, that would be catastrophic. You're not sure. It's kind of like, yeah, Ogox probably would kill me. I better get this for her. So
yeah, so I'm going down into the brush.
so
I'm assuming that given that it's glowing, it's easy to find. So I'll just head straight for it.
Well, keep looking. And in the case of 13, what shall you do?
Just to make sure I'm oriented right. The bridge is in between the temple and the settlement?
No,
or
it's the other way around. The bridge is the outermost structure. You
so
went
it's
over the bridge
downriver of
first.
the settlement.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
In that case, I'm probably just going to help Theoxa find that thing.
Okay. Well, in that case, it should be I believe there's even a search kind of a skill, is there not? Search ability of some kind?
Yes, there is. It's under alertness.
That would be it.
Passable.
Poor.
Okay. So while 13 is kind of poking around, after a while, passable. It's a matter of time. Okay, so it's going to take quite a while, and the the relic is there, and it's no longer glowing green. It is theatrically smoking a little, right? But is not any longer radiating energy or anything like that. Um, and would you like to put it into the hilt of your sword?
Yes, I'll have cry of joy and grab it and slot it in.
Right.
Back
There you
where
go.
you belong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so, given that it's taken you all this time to find it, there is one uh, uh, Vargar who has come racing along the path and is running across the bridge, and is at one point stops and kind of casts about. In fact, at the bridge, will stop and look around in confusion, and then locate where you guys left the bridge to go onto the path. In other words, they're tracking, right? So they're like, okay, following the tracks. Track stopped. Ah, they went that way, right? So at this point, you can tell as they are coming down the path, it's your cousin Rieka. And she's saying, Theoxa, are you there?
I'll kind of stride out of the underbrush. Are you in Shkazak looking for this?
And she
Kinda
says,
hold up the aim
I am.
shoulder.
I am so done with all of that. Look. She says, I'm not going back there. I think God has noticed our opinion. So I'm going to let the priests deal with that.
We finally got the fucker's attention. All right.
Right. And she says, I'm getting out of here. So I know my place, and I tried to take a side, and it was a bad idea. So you can go back there and get in between the two of them and God, or not. But you're my kin. I was trying to do well by you as best as I could. I figured I owed you a chance to say goodbye. Or figured I owed you a goodbye. And then she looks at 13 and says, weren't you supposed to kill Ogox?
She said that out loud?
She thought it was pretty straightforward. I mean,
how would she know?
she's close to Shikagasak, remember? She's been working with Shikaza.
Mm-hmm,
She asks it reasonably innocent.
Okay.
She's not trying to make trouble, right?
Just looking daggers at her.
she kind of blinks and says, "Oh." She looks at the ox and says,
"Friend asked."
Right. She looks at the ox and says, "Sorry to cause trouble." So.
And I'm not. I think I trust 13. 13's got my back, so I'm looking at Rieka and I say, yeah, run. If anything has happened to Ogox, I'll be seeing you again. I don't care how far you go.
I didn't do anything.
Look, cousin, I'm giving you a chance. Get out of here.
All right. Well, like I said, goodbye. So she's headed back up to the path.
We got to get back to that pyramid. We have to make sure Ogox is all right.
You serious?
Oh, I am so tempted
What do
just
you
to
mean?
clip it right there.
I know.
It's terrible. You guys tell me, you keep playing it out, but I just want to let you know that, if the if Francis Ford Coppola were here, he would close it on that line. Let it be noted. Go on.
What do you? Of course, I'm serious. What are you talking about, 13? We've got to get back there and make sure she's okay.
Whether she is or not, we are going to be dead if we go back. At least I am.
We'll just explain to them it's it was another robot, right? They'll understand.
Another robot. They are going to believe you. There is another robot. Yoxa, listen to what you say. I don't know much about your religion, but what she said was basically half of them are probably dead at least.
The one thing that the two factions agreed upon thoroughly was defiance and rejection.
Then that's a 50, right? Yeah, then 13, that's a 50-50 chance that Ogox is still alive, and I cannot leave her. Not like this. Give me a chance to say goodbye.
You are not going to leave without checking on her, right?
I can't. Can't until I know she's safe. Something else.
When you know, would you leave together with me and help me to get where I want to go? Just tell me.
Yes. 13, I'm not so dense that I haven't noticed how ill-suited I am to life here now. I was happiest I was in the last few days was when I came around the corridor and you were standing there, and it was like we were back out on the road together, where I belong.
Okay. Let's go back, but careful. I may not come with you all the way, but I will wait for you for a reasonable amount of time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, let's sneak back.
All right. We only have a little while left. About 20 minutes of play, I imagine. So I will tell you what you will find before you make it all the way back to the pyramid level. So at the point where you get to effectively the path that goes up the same mountain as the waterfall. It doesn't go right next to the waterfall; it goes around. But when you get to that point, is when um, the Vargar coming from the upper area will be coming down the path in a fairly uh, uh, disorganized, frightened, and desperate way. So apparently, there's a whole ton of people who have just rushed away from the pyramid and come back, to get out of there. And you don't see Ogox, and um, you don't see Shkazak. Um, but there's a whole bunch of Vargar, and they do not seem to care whether they are wearing ritualistic religious clothes or not. And they don't seem to care if they are used to be friends or used to be enemies or what. Everybody's helping everybody, right? There's clearly a few things have been grabbed. Um, you know, Vargar brats are corralled and disciplined and brought along. And so what you're looking at looks like a panicky evacuation. Um, and now there is a disturbing noise coming from the pyramid too.
And as we meet I'm shouting Ogox, Ogox. If
Mhm.
someone is wearing a hood, I'm like
Right.
lifting it up to see if it's her, right?
Excellent.
Not seeing
Okay,
her.
so you'll get one of these, and coincidentally, for no reason except for continuity, it'll be one of the ones that you confronted inside the temple. And probably not the one you clawed up, but one of the others. And who says, uh, you know, Theoxa. She said, but weren't you? Oh, and then just says, fuck it. Just gives up on trying to figure out anything, and says, "Oh, what, Ogox? Oh, oh, Theoxa," and pulls you kind of away from the crush of all these Vargar going past. Get out of the way! Quit blocking! Move! Right, everybody's kind of. I like playing the Vargar, so the very enjoyable people to role play. And uh, this person pulls you off to the side, basically to the road, and says, "Listen,